everybody. Another mailbag show. I've got a guest with me today. No haircuts today for Noah. He's looking fresh and ready to go. I am not, because I only woke up about 20 minutes ago. We've had some interesting nights here. But Noah, good to have you back. How did your earlier mailbag show go, and how's life in general?
Life in general is good. The haircuts, can't get one every week, not on a fantasy basketball analyst salary.
No.
Doesn't exactly pay for weekly haircuts, but everything else is good. Yeah, just finished the other Q&A for Roto World with Raf that we do on Tuesdays and Fridays. It was good. A lot of Brandon Williams talk, a lot of Ace Bailey talk. It always comes up to talk about the Pelican center rotation too, which Raf and I it's a lot of heavy sighing. Just, why are they doing what they do?
We can't answer that question. So if that is your question, we can't answer what are they doing. What should they do? Maybe we can answer that one, but what are they doing? We can't.
We have takes on what they should be doing for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, welcome to Stuff It, everybody. If you are watching or listening after the fact, part of the Old Man Squad, subscribe, thumbs up, all that hype stuff. I don't know. There's all this new stuff being added. We've got some new weird view that we can look at here in the studio, which just confused both of us, so we got rid of it. We're very simple people here at Old Man Squad, so no, we're happy with the old school stuff. All right, so I'm hoping we get lots of questions. There's already a few sitting in here. And let's start with this one, because you mentioned to me, and I did read this, that the Embiid news, the most inevitable news of all time, although you informed me this is his other knee. This is not the knee that has been giving him problems for however long, insert number here. Are we going with Isaiah Jackson or Drummond with the Embiid news? So the Embiid news, for anyone that's not aware, he's being evaluated. I think that's sort of what they've said. They're evaluated by team doctors, and further updates will be made available. So I don't think this was an acute injury. Is there any more to this? I've sort of just come in, obviously, as I've woken up. Have they reported what this is? Is it a knee sprain? Is it just knee soreness?
I can pull up. Okay, so they're calling it right knee soreness, and he's going to be evaluated by team doctors, and further updates will be provided as appropriate, which is, I feel like, a very Charlotte Hornets term to just say, we'll provide updates as appropriate, basically. But then it's never appropriate, because an appropriate update would be a little bit more consistent than what they do. But it is definitely a little scary that it is the other knee and that they're feeling the need to go for further evaluations. It's just scary.
Yeah, scary, and that's why I didn't draft him anywhere. So I'm fine with this on a personal level. Isaiah Jackson or Drummond? Drummond played really well. I think Adem Bona has been pretty disappointing. On the whole, we thought that he would be a nice late round player, and he'd play sort of 18 minutes a night, and then when Embiid's injured, he'd play more. But it's been Drummond who's stepped up thus far. So would you roster sort of take a chance here on Drummond with the Embiid news, or stick with Isaiah Jackson, who's been, I think, continues to be a little bit up and down, I guess?
I'd rather have Drummond. I know that there's not much conclusive about the Embiid news, but Drummond did start in their last game, had 17 points, which would have been the second highest total of the season for Isaiah Jackson, and 12 rebounds, which would have been the highest season total for Isaiah Jackson. So I'm not loving the inconsistency of the role for Isaiah Jackson and the production. He had a nice 3-game stretch there, which I think made everyone kind of say, oh, he's back. This is the guy we drafted. But I'm not super confident in Isaiah Jackson, and I feel pretty good. Not great, but pretty good that if Andre Drummond is starting, he'll give us more consistent value than Isaiah Jackson will.
Yeah, I think I agree. That's pretty fair. I'm here for one thing and one thing only, TJ McConnell advice. Well, we can give it. I mean, he's questionable, I believe, for the next game.
Yeah.
So that's a step in the right direction. Look, I mean, I think if you've got McConnell, if you've been stashing him, if you've picked him up, he's probably, we know he's not going to play 30 minutes a night. They won't do that. Coming off an injury, he's going to be eased back in. He's probably going to be someone worth rostering when he hits 100% of TJ McConnell, whatever that looks like. That's probably sort of 24 to 25 minutes, I think. Assists and steals. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, we know who he is, and nothing is going to change. Even if they are so injured, they're still not going to play TJ McConnell 30 minutes. I just don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the good news about TJ McConnell is that even when he gets like 15 or 20 minutes, it's not consistent, but sometimes he can be really, really impactful in short spurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's just too many factors here for me to not be super excited. It's a hamstring injury. Just coming off that, the injury luck that the Pacers have had, which isn't necessarily a tangible thing, but Andrew Nembhard being available and healthy, like it's not a starting spot for TJ McConnell where he's playing 35 minutes a game. It's potentially something where he's playing 20 minutes a game. And then there's also the factor of the Pacers are not really winning games. So are they going to force TJ McConnell to play not 100% or play through injuries into February, March, and April? Like, I'm not super confident about this. There's just a lot for me to not be excited about TJ McConnell.
Yep. And here we go. These are the questions we thought we would get. Ace Bailey and Brandon Williams. Points League. Ace Bailey and Brandon Williams must adds over Bilal Coulibaly and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So I said that you would take the Ace Bailey questions and I'll take the Brandon Williams questions. And here is a question with both of them. Would we add these guys over Bilal Coulibaly and Nickeil Alexander-Walker? In a points league. I don't know. I mean, Nickeil Alexander-Walker's injured at the moment, but I don't think it's anything significant. And he'd been playing big minutes, putting up good numbers. So I wouldn't be dropping Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I don't think. Bilal, do we even know what his injury is yet? I think it was soreness. They hadn't, as far as I know, bloody soreness. Why can't they be more specific? I'm sore, but I'm still here doing a show. Left calf contusion. Okay, whatever. Yeah, look, I'm not the highest on Bilal anyway. I know he had that really good first game and everyone was all aboard and that sort of thing. And then he sort of dropped off. When he doesn't shoot the ball well, he has some defensive stuff to fall back on, but he's certainly not elite on that end yet. So I would probably take one of those guys over Coulibaly. Personally, I'd go Brandon Williams, but what would you think there? Would you be dropping either of those players, and who would be the ad?
Yeah, definitely among these four, ranking Bilal last. I really like him, but the injury plus it being a points league, I like him better in category leagues. I'll have him last here. It's tough because Trae Young's still out for a little while, but when Trae Young's back, Nickeil Alexander-Walker still holds value, but not quite as much. I feel like, Ace Bailey has started one game. Brandon Williams has started one game. I feel like, and Brandon Williams is playing well, but Ace Bailey's chances of starting the rest of the season are higher than Brandon Williams just because they just invested a top 5 pick in him. So I think I'd probably be ranking these four, like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Ace Bailey, Brandon Williams, Bilal Coulibaly.
Okay. So this question here, I'm assuming your answer would be Brandon Williams versus Ace Bailey for a 14-team roto. You would lean Ace Bailey because of his potential to start for the rest of the season.
I would. The roto aspect is where I'm, because I don't play in many roto leagues, but you could enjoy Brandon Williams' value for short term, which could be a little bit better than Ace Bailey short term. And then if Brandon Williams moves back to the bench, Ace Bailey keeps starting, then make that move later on if that's possible. Would you say that would make sense from a roto perspective? Because just rest of season, I'd rather have Ace Bailey. But from a strategy perspective, could you say enjoy Brandon Williams short-term value and then get Ace Bailey long-term?
You probably could, but I'm assuming both would be picked up. If they both continue starting, Ace Bailey will be picked up by someone. Look, I think you can go either. Like at the moment, as you said, they're both starting. Williams is playing well. I would say that potential for Williams to start rest of the season is there. Obviously, Kyrie is the question mark if and when he comes back. But yeah, I mean, D'Angelo Russell's been just so bad. So, and I think we saw yesterday, I know they lost, but they looked a lot better. And I thought Cooper Flagg looked a lot better playing alongside a good point guard. And I mean, Nico's gone now, so I know that doesn't impact fantasy, but how much impact was he having on decisions in terms of rotations and things like that? Does it change anything here? I don't know. We'll find out. Does Jason Kidd just get to do what he wants now? Was he sort of hamstrung in terms of his decision making? I don't know whether do you think it changes anything with Nico gone?
I mean, there's nothing where we can say okay, because Nico's gone, this will happen differently. But there was I think it was an anonymous report that players were basically saying they preferred to play away games than home games because the vibes were just bad with Nico Harrison around. Yeah. So taking him out of the building, maybe that just makes things a little bit better. I don't know, and maybe we see different types of moves because obviously you can't repeat a Luka Doncic type trade, but it seemed like he was trying to get this certain type of player. Defense wins championships, and that's what happens. That leads to you trading Luka for Anthony Davis and Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin. So probably more of a long-term impact on what this roster looks like than any day-to-day rotation stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah. I saw there was a story, I don't know if it came out yesterday, that there was an interaction with the owner or something. And anyway, basically they were saying that they regretted the trade, the Anthony Davis trade. It shouldn't have been done. So, which, I mean, we knew that. But to come out and say that, my immediate thought was, what does this do to Anthony Davis? Just in terms of him as a person thinking, so you're saying that I was a mistake, basically. So does that impact his future on this team? Does he ask to be traded?
Yeah.
You never really wanted me here anyway. Or does this make him go, I'm going to prove you guys wrong when he gets back on the court and hopefully stays healthy? I don't know. I just think there's going to be a lot of stuff behind the scenes here with the team sort of openly admitting that it was a mistake. How does Anthony Davis take that? Does he take it personally? Does he just ignore it? I don't know.
And they don't have to double down on the trade anymore. They don't have to say, okay, we got to continue to play win now to prove that we can win a championship without Luka. It's a new regime. They can say, okay, let's trade Anthony Davis. Let's trade, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, whatever we got to do. And let's reset, get picks and build around Cooper Flagg. And that's a good strategy. So we'll see if that's what ends up happening.
Well, they have some interesting pieces. Obviously, Cooper Flagg is the key piece there, but Derek Lively is still very young. I know 100%. He's injured all the time, but he's very young. Brandon Williams is an interesting younger guard. He's not super young, but he's younger.
Max Christie.
Max Christie has been playing quite well. Obviously Quentin Grimes would be a nice piece if they had him.
Indeed.
Anyway, all right. Andre Drummond or Noah Clowney? I'd be okay with dropping Clowney and adding Andre Drummond. Clowney, I know he's sort of doing a bit more, and Cam Thomas may never play again. But Clowney's way too inconsistent, I think, to consider a must roster player.
I agree. Yeah, I much prefer to have Andre Drummond.
Here's a long one. I've got Wemby, but my other centers are inconsistent. Gobert, Klingon, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Would you rather have Cornette, Robinson, or Drummond as my fifth center? More than 5 centers is too many. ? I don't think it is, but it depends on your build. I've got 9 centers on one of my teams. That's probably too many.
But with the rostering, how many flex or utility spots is it versus?
Yeah, I think we've got 4 flex spots. So okay. It's still probably too many, but 5 is a lot. So 5, I think, is okay. I would say Gobert's been pretty good this season. I don't have him anywhere, but I feel like he's been better this season than last season. Kalkbrenner, yeah, look, inconsistent, but I think he's clearly the starting centre, and I think for a rookie centre, he's been pretty consistent. I know he was not great in yesterday's game, but other than that, I think he's been okay. Clingan's been stupidly inconsistent. Who would I rather have on that list? Look, I think probably, I mean, per minute, I'd go Robinson, but he's only playing 18 minutes. He's resting back-to-backs. He's pretty limited in terms of what they're doing with him. I think he's doing well when he's out there. Drummond, I mean, if Embiid's healthy, it's not Drummond, but is Embiid healthy? And Cornet, I don't know. He was good yesterday, but I feel like it's going to be. They were playing the Bulls, who went sort of big as well with Vooch and Jalen Smith a little bit. I'd probably go right now. I don't know. Maybe it's Drummond, but I think you could make a case for all three of them, really.
Yeah, I'm trying to look right here. So, just before Luke Cornett got hurt, he had a really good game in their second game of the year. Was playing a lot in a too big lineup with Wemby, and I was trying to look real quick to see how many minutes him and Wemby spent on the floor together, and it looks like 6 minutes ish. And I thought it was an effective lineup in that first time they were doing it. He played 34 minutes, only played 20 minutes yesterday. So I do think Cornet's intriguing. I'd probably rank these three just based on what we know about the Embiid injury. Drummond, Cornet, Robinson. Obviously, if things change and Embiid is fine, which I don't feel super confident in, I'd probably go Cornet, Robinson, Drummond. Maybe I'm just pretty intrigued by Wemby, Luke Cornet, too big lineup.
It is intriguing. I mean, Sohan only played 10 minutes or something yesterday, so they went sort of that direction, and yeah, maybe they do. So, yeah, and like I said, if Robinson was starting and playing 24 minutes a night every night, I'd go Robinson, but he's not. When do we think Tyler Hero will be back? I think it's like maybe in the next 1 to 2 weeks. That feels about right.
I think that was the initial. Okay, yeah. Here's a blurb from mid-November, or at least until the middle of November. So could be pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay. I have TJ McConnell, Eason, Grimes, and Tyson. Need to drop 2 when Giddy and Edie come back. Which one would you drop? So who would I drop out of those 4? In between, I was thinking to stream for today, Eason for Ace. So dropping Eason and picking up Ace Bailey. Look, I'm still sort of. I think because I'm invested in Eason, I'm reluctant to drop him. So I don't think I'd drop Eason. Grimes. I mean, once Paul George comes back, but we haven't really heard anything about Paul George. So yeah, I'm not. It's hard to factor that in because it could be a week, it could be 2 months, it might be never. We just don't know. TJ McConnell, I don't think he's going to be a must roster player. Like, I think he'll be fine, but I think if I had to pick 2 to drop there, it would probably be TJ McConnell and Jalen Tyson.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really like what Jalen Tyson's done this year, and I don't love the idea of dropping him if you don't have to, especially with Darius Garland re-injuring his toe yesterday, which stinks. But we don't know how long he'll be out. Yeah, I think I'd stick with Eason and Grimes. That's who I'd keep.
Where do we rank Porzingis in a points league? He's been a bit underwhelming, just the playing time and the management. I mean, we knew Atlanta were going to do that with him. I'd have him, I don't know, points league top 50, that sort of range, I guess. We'll do this one. Do we drop, because we just sort of spoke about Jalen Tyson. Do we drop Jalen Tyson to get Andre Drummond? Well, they're very different. I mean, what do you need? Do you need rebounds and blocks and field goal percentage, or do you need steals and some points? So it probably come down to what stats you need here. for me. I mean, as you said, we have no word on this Garland re-injury. We don't know if it's going to cause him to miss time. I mean, he didn't look happy when he left the game. Yeah, but I don't think there's been an update as far as I haven't seen anything come out. So, can Brandon Williams stick after Davis comes back? Yeah, look, I don't think Davis coming back impacts Brandon Williams too much. It impacts Najee Marshall, those sorts of players. But yeah, I think it's Brandon Williams or it's D'Angelo Russell, because I think they've moved away from the Cooper Flag at point guard experiment, because it wasn't, I mean, they're not winning anyway, but it wasn't winning them basketball games. And I just think it was putting too much pressure on Cooper Flag, playing out of position. So, I don't think the return of Davis impacts Williams. Do you think any different?
No, I think I don't think Anthony Davis impacts that.
All right, running my 4-punt build. I get so many of these questions through DMs. It's amazing. I love it. People send me their teams and they look so good. Back end is Herb, Tari, Minot, Rollins, Mitch Robinson. Need to drop 4. One is for you need to drop 4 of them. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a lot that you have to drop. I'd be okay. I wouldn't drop Herb yet. I wouldn't drop Tari. I wouldn't drop Rollins. Probably wouldn't drop Brandon Williams, although in this build,
that's the thing.
Yeah, that's sort of keeping a lot of guards. You need to keep some blocks. I
feel Watford, like I know he had the triple-double and then followed it up with a pretty average game. I think that was probably more of a one-off game than, hey, all of a sudden this dude's a fantasy star.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Watford would be one of them. Mitch Robinson, I mean, I'm holding him where I can, but I understand if you have to drop him because he just doesn't play every game. So I'd probably go Robinson, Watford, one of Drummond and Cornette. I'd pick one of those guys, and then maybe it's Minot. I know Minot's been good, but he's been bad in games. Like, he's very distant. So I think I've already added him and dropped him 2 or 3 times this season. So I'd be okay with moving on from him, because I don't think anyone's going to rush to pick him up either. So he could still be sitting there. If you drop him and he has a good game and you want to re-add him, I think he'll just be sitting there for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel pretty confident about Robinson, Watford. Yeah, and then
bring the
probably sorry, I forgot them all as soon as you took them off the screen. Yeah, I'd probably drop Cornette over Drummond, and then I hate dropping Minot, but it probably is.
Is Buzelis a hold in a points league? Yeah, I'm holding Buzelis. He's been a little bit disappointing. Probably the minutes have been, but he's had some foul issues as well, which I think have impacted his playing time. But I'd be holding Buzelis at the moment. I'm not moving on from him. Here we go. Would we trade Amen Thompson for Donovan Mitchell in a 9-cat league? I think it's a fair trade.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, people always talk about winners and losers. I think if you made this trade, both teams could be winners, because if you need what Amen brings you, the defensive stuff, the rebounds, sort of across the board stuff, where Donovan Mitchell is just playing really well. And as we know, Darius Garland could miss some more time here. So I think I'm okay with that trade.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty even, I would say.
I'd rather have Drummond over Boner.
Drummond.
Yep. Should I try to move Rollins before KPJ comes back? Who's a good trade target? Personally, I'm not. I was hoping Rollins would be the starting point guard anyway, and it didn't look like that was going to happen. But I just don't think, with the way that he's been playing, I don't think they can just bring KPJ back in, play him as the starter, and play Rollins 20 minutes off the bench. I think Rollins has to have a role, whether it's off the bench or starting. I think he'll still play 28, 29 minutes a night. and be a rosterable player. But if you wanted to drop him now, or not drop him, but trade him, because obviously he's doing a lot more now than he potentially will be in a month or 2 months, I'd probably look for a top. I don't know. It just depends. I mean, people are going to be hesitant to trade for him, knowing that Kevin Porter Jr. is coming back. Who's a good trade target that gets defensive stats or rebounds? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look at all sorts of stuff there. Any thoughts off the top of your head?
My thought initially is Kevin Porter Jr. shouldn't take away from Ryan Rollins, but we'll see what ends up happening, because what should happen versus what ends up happening doesn't always line up. Who's a good trade target to get defensive stats or rebounds? I would consider Rollins a probably just outside the top 100 player. I guess we can, and it's, strictly 9 cat value is kind of a fickle thing.
Yeah, I probably got him a bit higher, but that's sort of, I think, me being, hey, I've had Ryan Rollins for 3 years, and finally he's getting this opportunity, so I'm going to milk it for all it's worth. So I probably have him as more like a top 70 player.
Okay.
So in that range, and as you said, I mean, 9 cat ranks they are what they are. I don't know, Tamani Kamara. Maybe he's in that. And he's actually a bit of a buy low at the moment. So maybe you could pull that off if you're just looking for defensive stats and rebounds. Yeah, he's probably one that comes to mind.
That's a good option, I think.
Yeah. All right, let's keep moving. Otherwise, we're going to stall out. Ace Bailey versus Brandon Williams. Again, for me, it's Brandon Williams. For you, it's Ace Bailey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that our default answer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What are our thoughts on Bilal Coulibaly? I've said I'm not super high on him in a points league. I mean, he's kind of a back end guy, I think. Top 100-ish.
Yeah, I think that might even be a little high for me in a points league. I like him much better in category leagues.
Yep. Okay. Oh, yeah, my 4-punt build. Would we trade Ryan Rollins and Tari Eason for OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges? Mikal, I don't think so. OG's been really good this year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't get him anywhere.
The 1 year.
Yeah, the 1 year, yeah. And there was no reason. I just didn't end up getting him. Look, I think if you're trying to consolidate a little bit, I'd be okay with that trade. I'd probably go Anunoby slightly over Bridges, just because I know the build that you're running here. But I'd also just be okay holding both Rollins and Eason, because I think they'll both have value rest of season. But if you are a bit worried about Ryan Rollins, and I know Tari Eason's been a bit underwhelming in terms of defensive stats, he's turned into this elite corner 3 shooter, but outside of that, he's not doing a ton of stuff. So, yeah, I think I'd be okay with that trade if you've got some reservations about those 2 guys.
And he also is the one that needed to cut 4 players, so this would make him only have to cut 3. So that would
Yep. Vucevic and Pritchard for Şengün. Who's winning the trade?
Şengün.
Probably Şengün. Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
I feel pretty confident about that one.
Who's the add in a 9-cat? So who would you prefer or rank these players? Ace Bailey, Jalen Tyson, or Reed Shepherd?
Is it Reed or is it Ben?
Let's hope it's Reed, because if it's Ben, it's not Ben.
We'll just rank all 4. Ben Shepherd last. Okay,
Ben
now let's
Shepherd
go back
last.
to
Yeah.
I'd probably say Ace Bailey 1, Jalen Tyson 2, Reed Shepherd 3, just for this season. Jalen Tyson's path to minutes has been much more clear than Reed Shepherd, and he's done more with the minutes than Reed Shepherd has.
Yeah.
I still think Reed Shepherd is very good long term, though.
Moussa Diabate or Derek Queen for Friday, Saturday back-to-back? I'd probably go Queen. I like taking a chance on Queen. I know it's Diabate has had some moments, and Queen. A lot of Queen's stuff is coming in garbage time.
It is.
I know yesterday I was following along, and he hadn't done much, and then he came on when they were down by about 30, and he ended up with a good line again. So
yeah,
I might go Queen just because he intrigues me a little bit more, but I think Diabate is probably the slightly safer of the two.
I like that explanation, and I think I'll agree with you to go Derek Queen because both of them are coming off the bench. But Derek Queen should be starting, in my humble opinion. So maybe Willie Green will do the right thing.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a better chance, I think, of Derek Queen taking on a larger role.
Yeah. All right, with all the Ja Morant drama, will Ty Jerome get a bump? I mean, who knows what's going to happen there in Memphis? Look, obviously, if Ja Morant is gone or refusing to play, or if anything like that happens, then yes is the answer. If Ja is there and it's all fine and moving forward, I still think Ty Jerome has a role, but I think he and Scottie Pippen will sort of cannibalize each other's value a little bit off the bench, and they're probably both due back at a similar range.
I think Scottie Pippen's going to be out a while longer. I think
he might be. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So look, if it's just Ty Jerome coming back ahead of Scottie Pippen, then I think Jerome is worth rostering. And then obviously if Ja is gone or there's any drama, he would get a bump, yes. If there was any issues there. Should I drop Harper if I have other players injured, and should I pick up Bailey to replace him? Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't feel great about it, but the last Dylan Harper update was just that he's not doing physical activity. He's going to miss multiple weeks. Just not a ton of clarity there, and we haven't seen what it looks like with De'Aaron Fox there as well. So I think I'm fine with that.
I will say that Harper I thought looked phenomenal.
Exactly, that's what makes it hard.
I know it does. I dropped him in a league if that helps. The Spurs have absolutely no incentive here to rush him back. So this could be a 2-month injury to get it 100% right, because they just don't need him. But long term, man, he looks good. We did that one. Would you drop Neesmith or Oubre for Reed Shepherd? It's risky. Only because Neesmith and Oubre at the moment, their roles are pretty locked in. Shepherd's rest of season could improve. It could. I'm not convinced it will. I know he's had two. I feel like he's had two pretty good games in a row where his minutes are up. But I think there have been reasons as well. Jabari Smith, I think, got in foul trouble in one of them. And I'd be hesitant. If you're positioned pretty well and your team is looking good, then I'd be okay with moving on from one of those guys. But if you're sort of just looking for some safe, secure players, then I'd probably stick with Neesmith and Oubre at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if I were to drop one, it would be Neesmith, but I'd rather have both of them right now. If you are trying to make a long-term play in the hopes that Reed Shepherd is going to be better later on, Neesmith has a shutdown chance just because the Pacers haven't been winning games. So maybe you go that route.
So it's another Brandon Williams one, but it's in relation to Vassell. So Devin Vassell, with his value most likely dropping later in the season, Fox coming in, would it be worth picking up Brandon Williams? So I'm assuming this is, do I drop Devin Vassell to pick up Brandon Williams question? I know Vassell was really bad yesterday, but he had a migraine and he came into the game, I believe, with a migraine. So he was not feeling 100% anyway. Prior to yesterday, he'd been playing quite well. I know, obviously, his production is going to take a bit of a hit because they've got a lot of depth around him now. But his minutes were there. Like, he's playing big minutes. This is not a situation where they're phasing him out or playing him 24 minutes a night. Like, he's playing 30-plus minutes. So I'm probably going to try and hold Vassell here. But, I mean, I understand it. Like, I know Brandon Williams was very good. But I'd probably hold the sell just.
I agree with that. I think it probably is more of a conversation than it should be, or than it was obviously at the beginning of the season, but I'd still hold.
Is Drummond a must-add player with the Embiid news in a 16-teamer? Yes.
I'd say yes.
Yep. Is Clowney too inconsistent for a 12-team? Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
And his upside's not that high. So, oh, man. Ace Bailey, Brandon Williams, here we go.
I told you.
Yeah, so many.
Which is fine. They're worth talking about.
Yeah,
that's why.
Not Nurkic. I would say Nurkic is a new name that we haven't really talked about. Yeah, I mean we've already seen the flaws in use of Nurkic. Was he 2 of 11 or something yesterday?
Gosh, was it that bad
for a center? That's it's hard to swallow. His inefficiency. I'd probably go. I mean, I know you'll have Bailey first. I'd probably go Brandon Williams, Ace Bailey first, Drummond, Nurkic. Just until we get clarity. If we get clarity that Embiid is out for a month or something here, then Drummond probably moves up. But at the moment, we don't even know that Embiid's going to miss more than like a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what I would have. Is Collier a pickup? I'm not that high on Collier. He's sort of an assists streamer. I think that's, in my mind, that's what he is. Keontae George has been really, really good this season. I think Walter Clayton has had moments. So yeah, I don't know if I'd call him a pickup unless they have a favourable schedule and you're only looking for assists. I'd rather stream that position, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's a must roster player at this point, especially it's a 3 games the rest of the week, which I guess would be a 4-game week, but
yeah. Thoughts on Jordan Poole? He's been dropped in a head-to-head league. He doesn't look happy. I'll say that. Whether that's impacting his fantasy and his production, which it could be. I mean, they brought him in, and I'm assuming he was under the assumption that he would be starting for them and playing this big role. And then they moved him to the bench within, 2 weeks or something. So I don't think he's happy. He's injured at the moment. I think he's out for like a week. I'd probably pick him up.
Yeah.
I'm holding him at the moment. So if he's available and you've got someone to drop, I'd certainly be picking him up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that he should be on the waiver wire at this point.
Okay, Derek Lively, is he a must-add player? Currently available in a 16-team league. 16-team, I'd probably add him, yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I have him rostered in 12 teams, so I can't say to not roster him in a 16.
Yeah. I think I'm holding him in like industry pickup or something. So that's a 12-team league. Do we expect Garland to be out for a while? We don't know yet. There's no word on this, on whether he re-injured the toe or it was a bit sore. So yeah, nothing yet.
Yeah.
Klingon, by far my worst pick. Yeah, he's been pretty bad. He's had moments, but yeah, I don't know. He hasn't looked great to me.
And I was high on him, so it's been frustrating for me as well.
Yeah, I wasn't super high on him, but I certainly thought he'd be better than this. Are we still holding Keyshawn George? Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed.
I was offered AD for Maxi. Am I crazy for declining? I haven't traded in 2 days. Jeez. 2 days. It's a long 48 hours. I don't think I've traded in 2 years.
I was gonna say in a redraft league. I can't remember the last time I made a trade.
No. I think I made one in industry pickup 2 years ago. AD for Maxi. Am I crazy for declining? No.
I'd much rather have Maxi at this point.
Yeah. Max. I mean, perfect world. AD is healthy. Then yes, you probably go AD because I still think he can be a top 5 player. But I think Maxi is a top 5 player, isn't he? He'd be close to it. I don't know.
Yes, he's actually 5th on Basketball Monster right now.
Yeah. So no, you are not crazy. Any update on Keegan Murray? Not that I've heard. Is he
Haven't
worth
seen
holding?
anything.
Look, if you've got him in your IR spot, I'd probably leave him there. Let me just have a look at only because Sacramento is so bad that they're going to want him to play minutes and big minutes and help them because they just look terrible. So I'd probably say yes, just hold him. If you've held him this long, I would continue to hold because he's probably 1 to 2 weeks away, I think.
Yeah, and there hasn't been a recent update, but I'd say he's worth holding, even if the Kings don't give me much confidence.
Okay, so we've got, where are we? What was I up to here? Oh, there's so many questions. We're not going to get through all these, are we?
No.
Moussa Diabate or Isaiah Jackson, end of bench.
I'd
go. You go with who? Diabate. I'd probably go Jackson just because he's starting. But yeah, look, they're both playing 20-ish minutes, 22, 24. Yeah, I think either. I don't think there's a clear favourite here. We've determined that. So either way.
Yeah.
James Harden or Amen Thompson and Emmanuel Quickly in a 12-team 9-cat soft punt points. I'd probably go. Personally, I'd probably go Amen and Quickly. I know Harden's been pretty good, but yeah, I think I'd go with Amen and Quickly there.
I agree, and I'm not high on him, or excuse me, I was high on Emmanuel Quickly. He's been very frustrating to start this year, and his best attribute, I think, has been points, at least recently. So it's not a great fit, but maybe you can swing him somewhere else.
Are we holding Josh Minot in a 16-teamer? I think I'd be okay holding him in a 16-team league.
Yeah, I'm holding him.
All right, pick 2 for a points league. Shepherd, Merrill, Watford, Drummond, Ace, Filipowski, Queen. Well, I know you're going to go Ace. And I probably would too if he's going to start. I'd probably go Ace, Bailey, and... Ooh. I want it to be Queen, but I don't think it is at the moment. It's not Filipowski. I don't think it's Merrill.
I think it's Ace and Drummond to me.
It probably is Ace and Drummond, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to find a reason for it not to be Drummond, but I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts on Edie? Would I drop Kuminga for him? Again, probably what stats do you need? They're very, very different. Kuminga gives you 0 defense. Edie is all about defense. So do you need rebounds and blocks or do you need points?
Yep. That's a good way to put it.
Oh, man. There's so many Brandon Williams questions. Should we consider TJ McConnell a potential league winner? No, I don't think so.
I would not.
No, not a league winner. Brandon Williams or Isaiah Jackson? I go Brandon Williams.
I agree.
Brandon Williams or Josh Minot? I go Brandon Williams.
That's a tougher one for me, but I'd probably go Brandon Williams.
Yeah. What happened to Messi? That's a question that all Pelicans fans are asking. He played yesterday, didn't he?
He DNP coach's decision.
Right. I know, because I knew I was so busy at work yesterday, I missed a lot of the stuff, but I do know that he was active.
He was available. He was ready. But
they did say that he hadn't done a lot in terms of practice and that sort of thing. So I think maybe this was just because he'd been out with an illness. So if this was sort of a respiratory kind of thing, he probably hadn't done any work behind the scenes. So I'd say this is probably just rest kind of thing. Is Demon a pickup? Demon, however we say his name. He's close, I think.
I don't know that I'm picking him up. He hasn't been I'm just double like he started the last 2 games. That's encouraging, but
Mm,
the production still hasn't been great. So I don't think
no.
he's worth a pickup yet.
No, I think this is sort of one of those situations where you could try and get ahead of it because his minutes are trending up. He's starting now. So if this is sort of okay, we're moving towards him being a 30-minute starter, then he would be a pickup. So if you can afford to take a chance and just grab him, hold him for a week and see what happens with his playing time and his production, then I'd be okay with that. But if it's I need you to produce now kind of thing, then it's going to be pretty risky because he could go back to playing 21 minutes. He could just hover in this range for the rest of the season. It's the Brooklyn Nets after all. Yeah, sorry, there's so many questions, so we're not going to be able to get to them all. So I'm just going to pick some. I mean, you can see them too. So if there's any that you want to grab, I'm trying not to do Brandon Williams questions. Here's one interesting one. Sabonis for Lowry Markkanen and RJ Barrett, 10-team 8-cat. Would you do it? So which side would you prefer in that trade?
I think I'd rather just hold Sabonis. Though I do really like what Lowry's done. Just not a huge RJ Barrett fan, frankly.
Yeah. Barrett's been good, but
Right.
We've seen this in the past. He has like a few weeks where he does all this other stuff and then he goes back to being the old RJ Barrett. And yes, Lowry Markkanen's been very good, but Utah are just disgusting. So it feels like there's going to be a point where he just is injured or not playing or whatever. I mean, the same could be said for Sacramento. Yeah, I'd probably just stick with Sabonis there because he's the best of the three. What else have we got? Oh, here we go. Norm Powell question. What do we think of Norm Powell post Hero and Bam return, trying to trade Klingon away for Oubre and Powell? I'd do that. I mean, that the way that Klingon's been playing, I mean, again, it's very stat dependent because if you've got Klingon, all you've got him for is rebounds and blocks, really. The other two aren't going to get you any blocks. Well, Oubre might get you one or two, but I'd be okay, I think, going with Oubre and Powell over Klingon there because, yeah, if you don't need blocks, move Klingon. There's no point holding him.
Yeah, I like that. I think that Powell will take a hit when Hero and Bam are both available and healthy, just like he did last year, but he's playing really well right now and should still be valuable.
Austin Reeves or Jimmy Butler? For me, it's Reeves.
Pretty easily Reeves for me.
Yep. A Trey Jones question. Is his value going to be deflated upon White's return? Yes, is the answer to the first part of the question. It has to be. But still, can he still be serviceable in shallower leagues?
I don't think so.
It's going to be hard. It's probably going to be a situation, I think, where because I have him in a few leagues. So once we get word that Kobe White is coming back, which apparently could be quite soon, so we're looking at the next week.
Yep.
And Giddey, obviously, he was out yesterday as well. He will come back. I'm not going to drop Trey Jones straight away. I'm probably going to give him 2 games, maybe 3, because I just think he's been so good for them. And he was really good for them down the stretch last season that they will find a way. To me, just Sunmu probably takes a bigger hit. So I wouldn't be dropping Trey Jones immediately. But yes, I could see a situation where he probably becomes more of a streamer for assists and steals.
Yeah, I think I probably look at it the opposite in that Trey Jones takes a hit and Dosunmu is playing really well and probably ends up being able to keep doing that because I guess he'd be kind of staying in his current role. But that could absolutely happen where Trey Jones takes minutes and Dosunmu takes the hit. I just don't think that Dosunmu in a limited role off the bench is going to be enough. If this is a shallower category league, I assume it's like a 10-team or fewer. I just don't know if he's able to produce that much.
Mm. All right. AJ Mitchell, do we think he can keep this up? given what he's done. Jalen Williams will come back at some point. We don't know when. Caruso, we know that they're already managing him to some degree. He's had some rest games and things like that. So basically, do we think that AJ Mitchell can stay relevant in standard leagues?
I think he can. It's going to be tough because it is Kaysen, it's Caruso, it's Lou Dort missing time, it's Aaron Wiggins missing time, it's Jalen Williams missing time, but he's been like really good. It's not just he's getting more minutes, he's doing okay. Like he's been very, very good. It's gonna be difficult for them to not continue to give him minutes. So I'm interested to see how it looks. It could be that it's more limited, or it should be that it is more limited than it is right now. But he's been too good to just completely take him out of the rotation. So I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think my concern, if it's a concern, sort of a concern, is that, as you mentioned, all of those other players, that some have been injured and resting and all sorts of things, but they have so much depth that it'll be a situation where if he comes into the game and he shoots 0 of 4, there's no, like, they don't need to keep him on the court. That's, sure. I guess, where he's not in a position yet where he's so crucial to their rotation that he will play 28 minutes no matter what. There could be a 2-game stretch where he plays 18 minutes just because he's not shooting the ball well and Aaron Wiggins gets hot, or Lou Dort is shooting like phenomenally from 3. And so there's some risk. But yes, I'm certainly intrigued to see what his role looks like long term once they're healthy. Because no, long question, but basically, are Edgecombe or Jordan Poole droppable in a standard league? Edgecombe, no. Poole, no. I'm holding Poole at the moment. I'd have both.
Yeah, I agree.
Guys. Yeah,
I agree.
Would I trade Grimes and Eason for Bain, or Eason and Rollins? So Grimes and Eason, or Rollins and Eason for Bain?
I
wouldn't. I wouldn't trade Eason and Rollins to get Bain. Eason and Grimes is closer. I guess it depends how high you are on Desmond Bain, because I don't think he's a top 30 player or anything like we've seen in the past. I think he's top 50.
Right, I agree. I think I'd probably rather do Grimes and Eason. I think I would have to strongly consider both because Desmond Bain is just that good.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's been an incredibly rough start to the season, and it's not that he's just not hitting shots. Like, he just hasn't gotten the shot attempts. So,
yeah,
I don't know. Hopefully, at some point, they just kind of like have some sort of mandate out there. Like, hey, like, let's get Desmond Bain at least 8 threes a game. Like, we have to get him. We just gave up 4 firsts for him. We need to get him shots.
All right, here's a Bailey question. Would you drop Jeremiah Fears, Herb Jones, or Noah Clowney for Bailey? Yes. Clowney, yes,
agreed.
Definitely.
Clowney would be my priority to drop. But then you can drop Herb Jones and pick up Brandon Williams. So there you go. Now you're good.
There you go. Sorted. You'll win your league. Oh, Fat Cookie Monster's back. Am I permanently on this channel? Yes, is the answer. What happened to FBI? Nothing happened to it. The FBI is still doing its thing. It's all its leagues and things like that. But yeah, we just, Noah and I just came over here with Dan and a few others to sort of build up this network. Obviously, FBI's bread and butter is the league stuff. So yeah, we just made the shift. We're still helping FBI and still there working with B-Dub. But all of the video stuff and podcast stuff is over here. And same goes for Noah and his young man squad show.
Yep.
All right. Are we even close to the bottom? Oh, man. What are we at? 56 minutes. Lucky I don't have to go into work today.
you just scroll to the bottom. It's all Brandon Williams or this person, Brandon Williams or that
Yeah.
person. The answer is Brandon Williams, guys.
The answer is Brandon Williams. That should be the title of the show. The answer is Brandon Williams.
And Brandon Williams is the answer.
Who to keep rest of season? I mean, we don't know rest of season, but Rollins or AJ Mitchell? See, I prefer Rollins. I don't know whether you'd go AJ Mitchell.
I agree.
Okay, nice.
Because he's starting, and AJ Mitchell has started a few games now, but I feel much better that Ryan Rollins is going to keep his starting spot rest of the season.
Yep. All right, here's an interesting one. Would you trade Austin Reeves and Jaren Jackson for LeBron James and Derek White? I'm assuming that's Derek White.
If it's Kobe White, it's definitely a no. If it's Derek White, it's probably a no. Like leaning pretty strongly.
It's a maybe if it's Derek White, but I just don't want LeBron. That's sort of I'm not really. I know he's very good, but yeah, I don't want him. And no, I'd go. I mean, Jaren Jackson hasn't been super great, but Reeves has been amazing. So no, I'd keep Reeves and Jaren Jackson there. I traded Giddey for AD. How cooked am I? Well, ask us this question again in a month, and we'll be able to answer. Because AD to me is still the better player, but
Agreed.
Yeah. So maybe not. I mean, Anthony Davis is very close to returning. It sounded like he was very close yesterday. So I would assume he returns this week. Thank God, because I have him in so many teams. So, yeah, this is probably a pending, this answer, I think. Because if AD plays 50, what have they got now remaining? Like 70 games?
70 games.
Most teams have played
roughly.
10-ish. So 70. So if he plays 50, 55 of the remaining games, then you probably win the trade. But if he plays 30, then yes, you're cooked.
It's a fair way to put it.
We're not adding Huff in most leagues. We are not.
We are not.
No. Oh, look at this. Brandon Williams or Diabate? Let's go Brandon Williams.
Brandon Williams.
The answer is Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
All right. Geez, look at all these Brandon Williams. We'll just pop them up because Brandon Williams or Jalen Tyson, I'd go Brandon Williams. Dylan Brooks, Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams. And D Smooth is not buying the hype on either player. So the answer for D Smooth is neither, if that's the question.
I don't know, man. Sounds like if I'm in a league with D Smooth, I'm getting both Brandon Williams and Ace Bailey.
Yeah. Şengün or Jalen Johnson and Miles Bridges? Ooh. I might. I'm in a points league. I'd probably go Jalen Johnson and Miles Bridges. It's close.
It's very close. I may even stick with Şengün, though.
Yeah, you could. I think. Yeah, the Miles Bridges. That's Jalen Johnson. I think we know who he is. He's very good. Miles Bridges can be really good. But LaMelo has been out, Brandon Miller has been out, and the Hornets suck. So all three of those factors mean that Miles Bridges' value is a little bit unpredictable. So, yeah, I think you could do it, but I think sticking with Şengün is obviously relatively safe. I mean, we know his role. We know what he does. Nothing's changing in Houston. Have we heard anything about this?
I have
Trae
not.
Young. I have not either. No. I have heard some, I don't know if you'd call them rumors. I mean, you see all sorts of things on social media, but I have seen something along the lines of the Pelicans, I believe, inquiring about Walker Kessler. Yeah, I don't know. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Kessler, I know he's injured, but I'm not convinced the Jazz want him around. or see him as their long-term centre. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a trade or something at some point with Walker Kessler. And a team like the Pelicans or the Pacers might be another one. Pacers might look at Walker Kessler.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
To bring him
would
in.
Actually fit so well.
Oh, can you imagine him and Halliburton running pick and rolls?
Yeah, in the sense that he's out for the season, like that's a really good trade. I like that idea.
Yeah, I don't know who they'd give up because they obviously wouldn't want to give up Pascal.
No.
But do they have enough young pieces? Do they have draft picks? I'm not sure.
They definitely have their first this year, but I don't think they want to give that one up.
Probably not. No. Although that might be the what unlocks the trade kind of thing, because it could be a high draft pick. So if they're willing to just put all their eggs in the Halliburton basket, then maybe. But it's I don't know.
Maybe some sort of package with future picks. Jarris Walker, Obi Toppin, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Jarris Walker would have to be in
just
there.
Just randomly speculating here.
Anyway, we're asking ourselves questions now. We don't need to do that.
Just a 1 hour Q&A where we just ask each other. Everyone else just you can ask your questions. We're just going to talk.
We'll just talk. I missed the FBI intro music. Look, I could probably use it, to be honest. I could probably just ask BW if I can use it, because there was no trademarks to it or anything. So if I wanted to mix it up, maybe I could leave it with me. I'll ask BW if I can use it for the mailbag shows. I traded Pascal and Quickly for Maxi Fleece. That's a good trade. If you got Maxi,
Agreed.
Which you did.
Agreed.
Oh, you did. Yeah. So yes, that's a good trade. Is Kyrie Irving coming back this year? I mean, we've heard potentially, but it wouldn't be until at least January.
Yep.
I wouldn't think February. So fantasy seasons should be starting to get towards the playoffs by then. So, yeah, I think that's fine. Is Cam Johnson a drop in a 10-team league? He's pretty close. I'm holding him, though. Maybe that's me being stubborn.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that he figures this out.
I'm in the same boat where it's like at some point, and it's going to happen right after you drop him. He's going to have a big game.
Do we think Tamani Kamara is a must-hold in a 10-team points league? Borderline. I think I'd probably hold him. Just he's a starter and he plays big minutes. I know he's been shooting the ball poorly, but I think he probably is a hold.
Less intrigued in points league than categories.
Yeah. Do I do the post-game shows every day? I do not. I do them on Friday and Saturday. Dan does them the other nights. So I do this mailbag show. I do another mailbag show in about 12 hours. And I do a waiver wire show it's released on Tuesdays, I think. And then I do need to do an industry pickup show, but I haven't factored that into my schedule yet. Well, here we go. We're at the bottom now. Christian Brown or Brandon Williams?
Ooh,
that's a little bit closer. That is a close one.
Because Brown's pretty consistently getting the minutes. He hasn't been as good as he was last year, but he's still good.
I think Brown is probably the safer because he'll start, he'll play 30 minutes. He'll be a little bit up and down, but he'll end up as like a top 80 player. So Brown is probably a little bit safer, but if you want to take a chance, you can go Brandon Williams. Here we go. There's a dynasty question for you. Do we care about Jeremy Sohan in dynasty leagues? What's his value in a dynasty league at the moment?
Let me see where I had him preseason. Because I like his talent. Let's see. I had him 143 preseason. Think I'd have to drop him a decent amount. I still think he's top 200, probably borderline top 175. So yes, we still care. depends on how big your dynasty league is. Typically, the recommendation is 250 to 300 players rostered at minimum. So yes, he is still a player that should be rostered, but not super encouraged by recent seasons, honestly.
Yeah. I think just the and yeah, I mean it's good for the Spurs, but their depth now, like their projections, everything since they got Wemby has changed so much. Their timeline, and then obviously getting Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. A lot of the value has shifted there. Thank you, D Smooth. Been listening to Dan and the entire Old Man Squad. There's a lot of us now. There's a lot of, and yes, I've been listening to Dan for forever as well. Is Josh Hart a hold?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't end up getting him in any leagues because I was a good bit lower on him, but I still think he's a hold.
Yeah. He started the season pretty poorly, but I think he was sort of coming back off an injury, and I think I'd still be holding him. All right, let's do one more. Well, I know the answer to this one, don't I?
I'd rather have Fears.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you'd go Ace Bailey there. Okay.
No, I liked Fears more pre-draft. I feel more confident in him starting rest of season than Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
So no, I'd rather have Jeremiah Fears here.
Okay. Fair. All right. Like I think that's going to do. We're at an hour and 8 minutes. I have to go and have my breakfast. You've been doing Q&A shows for about 3 days straight now. So let's give you a break as well. Thank you, everyone. So many questions, which
yes,
we always get. It's great. Let's get that one off the screen. Where's that one? All right. Noah Rubin, where can we find you? What's happening in your world with fantasy basketball, Roto World, everywhere else?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Noah Rubin 22. Got the Young Man Squad fantasy basketball podcast right here on the Old Man Squad Sports Network. Different amount of times per week. My plan was to do one like Monday through Friday episode. That just has not happened. And if I'm being honest, I don't think it's going to happen. But the goal is at least 3 episodes per week. Try and do 2 just about like recapping recent games for Dynasty, and then 1 rookies. Try and get Matt Lawson on weekly when he's available. So got that, the blurbs and stuff at Roto World. We got the Q&A. Raph and I do Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. I have a start sit column that comes out on Fridays that's like more tailored towards like a Yahoo high score league, like that new format, or a sleeper pick'em league, things like that, rather than your traditional just try and start as many players as you can fantasy basketball league. And then probably some more stuff somewhere. Yeah.
That's most of it. That's enough anyway. That's certainly enough. Yes, do follow Noah. I have nowhere near as much stuff as Noah. I have my shows and I have some written stuff over at RotoWire as well. And then obviously we're both pretty active on Twitter. So make sure to follow us and all of the Old Man Squad team. Thank you, Noah. I'll have you back on next week, unless you're getting a haircut again, but hopefully, I don't know how often that takes place for you. For me, it's about every 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, no, should be no haircuts booked for next week, so we should be good.
Right. We should be right for next week. Excellent. And I will be back, as I said, in about 11 to 12 hours to do the sort of duplicate mailbag show for everyone on the other side of the world. But we'll be back next week. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please subscribe and like and download and do all of that stuff. I'm Adam King. He's Noah Rubin. This has been Stuff It, a fantasy basketball podcast. We are done.